Hello everybody, welcome back to my Let's Play of Subnautica. Done some base changes while you were away. I moved my solar panels along a wee bit. Slapped in some glass ways in, some compartments. I've adjusted where a bunch of my lockers are. They're now over here, and once I get more reinforcement, I'll create some more lockers. But basically it's just one locker per item type kind of thing. Titanium, I'll eventually put in a couple of big lockers and call it even, but I need some more stuff for that. Over here, I created a nice little tube so I could come over here on the side. And over here, we're going to be building our scanning room. So, we'll get that started up. Wander out here. Grab your scanner. And one thing you got to be careful of is scanners tend to be testy about how close they'll fit. So like down here, it'll run into things. So you need a little room if you're running tight to the area like I am. So over here, we're going to build our scanner room. It's going to take it a second. Hey, we now have a scanner room. And over here, I'm going to put in another window just so I can see. Come on. There we go. Not really. That's okay. You can put it in there. Ah, there we go. It's being testy about how far away it needs to be. Come on. There we go. Berg. Alright, let's head back into the base. So here's our scanner room. As you can see, we can kind of see the general outlay of everything around us. These two spots here are our camera drones, which you can come into here and activate the camera drones over here. Camera drones are pretty simple. Click in, and they wander around, and they search for stuff for you. Basically, they're just a way to see what else can be seen out here. If a camera drone is completely destroyed, you can replace it, but you shouldn't need to. Driving it back in, this little porthole that's right next to it slaps the camera in. Using your mouse wheel, you can go back and forth. You have 2 cameras total. To get out, just hit E. Over here, we have a list of things that the scanners can go look at. But let's go back to the map here for a second. So those 2 little blue dots are where our scanner is. Over here, you can see how the cliff drops off, where we are familiar with. So this is the rest of our base, over this way. And then down here is more of the safe shallows. Simple enough. So our list of things that we can scan for at the moment. We got cave sulfur, creature eggs, data boxes, heat areas, think thermal vents and things like that, limestone chunks, metal salvage, quartz, and then over here we have a up and down arrow, salt deposits, sandstone chunks, some salt stalker teeth, there's some titanium and some wrecks out there. Now wrecks is not the wrecks you're thinking of, it's every little wreck under the sun. You will get way too many results if you start going wreck hunting that way. In general, I typically use chunks of sandstone and limestone just to make my life easier. I am going to take a look and activate data boxes just to see what we've got that pops up. Looks like there is one out that way. So if we're standing in that direction to our north by northwest out there, looks like there is a data box out that way. So every, I think it's 16, it's 2, 5, I forget what the, no, it's 2, 6, 10, I think it's every 14 seconds, it will try and bring up another ping. For an example, we'll slip that over and we'll go over to limestone chunks. Let's see what it picks up. So there's one nearby here, you can see there's one there. And then 14 seconds later, it'll bring up a second one. It'll ping up a new one somewhere, I hope. There we go, right next door. And it will continuously increase. Over here, we have a fabricator that allows us to create only scanner room upgrades. So like over here, we've got the scanner room hub chip, which I'll show you how that works here in a moment. You can create replacement camera drones and range and speed upgrades. So the first thing we're going to want to do, now one thing you might notice is you can't see where things have resulted from. So you can see the dots, but not that way. If you open up the camera, however, head back to camera 1. I'll pop it off. And out here, you can see nodes for the limestone chunks we were popping off. And it will keep increasing or keep detecting them as it goes through. However, without the camera, you can't see those locations. That's what the HUD chip will do for us. So we need to get a computer chip and some copper ore, and we'll upgrade this range as well. So, be right back. Looks kind of nice out here at nighttime, doesn't it? Eventually I'll upgrade that a bit, but we're over here in our scanner room. We're starting to get a decent amount of spots figured out. So we're going to head into here. We're going to grab the scanner room HUD chip, which will require a magnetite. And while I'm in here, I'll use up the rest of my magnetite for range upgrades. Now, why is that unpowered? I am at 0 of 150 power. Okay, so I've pretty much just wiped out our power supply. Well done. Alright, so in here, we now have our scanner room HUD chip. You can unequip it by left-clicking it if you don't want to see the particular scanner room. But now you can see where those nodes are without having to have the camera show you the way. So that helps you see that. And over here in the scanner room upgrades, we will right-click 2 of them in, and you'll notice it's a much larger zone now. Each one of those is 50 meters. It starts at 300, so I'm up to 400 meters. We'll eventually bring it up to 500. As you can see, it just increased some more. It also goes height-wise, so it will also increase depth as well as width. So just as a quick way to go wander around and check out some of our new stuff, and because, well, I've just run out of copper again, we'll hop outside. And I'm curious about my power here. Okay, we're just getting some power now, that's fine. So out here, you can see where we've got some nodes that I hadn't popped yet. Hook in here, and you can chase it down, crack it, and go get your stuff. And it looks like there's some kaboomers. Looks like there's a lot of them. Hi, guys. So this will be an easy way for you to start picking up any extra supplies you might need that were being difficult to locate before for you. What are we getting there? Ah, sea glide fragment, okay. I'm always nosy. But you do have to kind of dig around for them, and you'll just have to play it by ear. It shouldn't be too hard to figure out how it works once you've gotten it built out. And as I said, it shows up every 14 seconds. If you have to reload your game, you end up zeroing out all of the scanner locations that it had already found for you. So if you're going to be doing something like this, where you're going and digging out a bunch of limestone or something, flip it on and then go, make your lunches or whatever and figure out what else you're doing. And then come back and you can go hunting for chunks and bits and pieces. So in the meanwhile, I'm going to go run around here for a minute and go look for some stuff. Okay, so hopefully that kind of gives you guys an idea of how that works. I will typically turn that back off when I'm not actively searching for it, because it's just very, it's cluttered. It's just very cluttered. But I do want to set that back, the scanner room, to switch over.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Thank you. Because I want to go flip over. I'm going to turn that off for now. Hit the X. Then out there, I found a data box. Where is that? That's up this way. Let me turn that back on. Where's my chip? There we are. So eventually, those will flip over. There it goes. And I got a data box right out there. I want to go see what's in there. It looks like that's going to be over at LifePod 3, though. I think I already know what this data pod is. This is where we got our compass. Yep, this is just the data box that we picked up earlier from LifePod 3. It's in here, and we already popped it open. So that's part of the problems with Rex and data pods and things like that. Is you've already opened them up. Okay, now something you'll probably want to do on Beacon Manager is shut off signals for camera drones 1 and 2, just so you don't have to deal with it. So back to the base. So one thing to keep in mind when you're working with scanners is they are very heavy on power usage. They pretty much just soak power constantly. We're going to want to create some thermal generators or thermal powered locations if you're going to do any kind of heavy continuous scanning. But if you ever get into trouble, you can always just shut it off completely. Let's see. How many fragments are we going to find that way? So there's still more fragments out there I haven't gotten. Heat area. We've got limestone. There's some copper ore apparently I missed. Quartz, which will let you set up your glass. Salt deposits in case you need water and food. Stalker teeth, which you won't care about for a while. It's for enameled glass, and you won't use it for a bit. But as you can see, there's a whole bunch of things out there. I do recommend you just skip the wreck choice, though. There's too many little wrecks out there. So, alright, we have gotten our scanner room up, and it's running as we needed. I'm going to put it back onto limestone for the moment. Let's go up here. I'll let it start searching for a decent limestone set. But I'm going to go empty out my lockers and stuff like that and get everything figured out. And I'll bring you back for the next episode now that we got the scanners up and running and we can go scan for general materials easily and as often as possible. So I figured before we end this episode, we did get another radio message. Let's go check that out.
This is an automated distress signal from LifePod 12. Coordinates attack. Warning, LifePod has sunk beyond safe diving distance. Do not attempt retrieval without submersible support.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
So LifePod 12 sank, if I remember right. Sank to the bed of the ocean. It's 250 meters down. It's about 1,000 meters that way to our northeast by east. So another bod went down. I was hoping 4 was going to pop up, but we found 12 instead. That's fine. So we've got a couple of different life pods we can go after, and we still need to come up here, find some air. There we go. The Aurora is still out that way. And there's lots of good materials in there. So there's a number of different choices we can go after next. But I think that will end this episode. So as always, thank you for watching. Please leave a like or a comment if you're enjoying the series, or perhaps grab a subscribe. It always helps. And I will see you next time.